Hello everyone. In the previous lecture, we have studied about physical resource blocks in LTE. Correct? We have studied the physical resource blocks and the different parts in the physical resource blocks. Now, in this lecture, we are going to understand the resource allocation. What is this resource allocation? The resource allocation is how these physical resource blocks are allocated to user equipments. If you are an user, when you want to communicate, then you will be allocated some particular bandwidth. In that particular bandwidth, what you will receive? You will actually receive number of resource blocks. So the allocation of this takes place at your base station. Whether it is for downlink or uplink, both the side it will be taken care by the base station, the allocation of resource block. And this process of dynamically assigning available time frequency resource blocks to different users is the resource allocations responsibility in order to provide an efficient good performance system. Okay, in LTE what we have is channel dependent scheduling is supported, and transmission is based on the shared channel structure where the radio resource is shared among different user equipments. The available bandwidth, radio resources are shared among different users, but exclusively particular resource block will be allocated to particular uh, user only. That is, one user equipment is given with one resource block, means that resource block will not be allocated to the other users. Also, in LTE, resource allocation in LTE is able to exploit the channel variations in both the time and frequency domain, which provides higher multi-user diversity gain. The diversity gain you have studied in the module 2, where what we see different variation of resource block allocation will give you diversity gain, which will be very useful in reliable transmission and reception of data. With OFDM, what we have is the downlink resource allocation is characterized by the fact that each scheduled user equipment occupies a number of resource blocks, as I have told already, while each resource block is assigned exclusively to one user equipment at any time. Correct? And in downlink, what we have uh, about this resource block is there are two types of resource blocks. One is physical resource blocks, another one is virtual resource blocks. They are defined to support different kinds of resource allocation types. And but in particular, virtual resource block is introduced to support both blockwise transmission, or you can say localized transmission, and transmission on non-consecutive subcarriers or distributed subcarriers as a means to maximize the frequency diversity. So physical resource blocks, we have consecutive location of resource blocks allocated for a particular user. In virtual resource block, what we have, we can either blockwise allocation we can do, later we can map to the physical resource block, or we can allocate one resource block to one user equipment in one group. In the next group, again we will take another resource block. So distributed resource blocks are there in virtual resource block concept. Okay, so physical resource blocks are used by type 0 and type 1 of resource allocation type, and virtual resource block resource allocation is used by type 2 of the allocation method. So next we'll see the resource allocation type. Before that, we'll understand some basic equation, which is the physical resource blocks are numbered from 0 to NDL minus 1 in the frequency domain. The physical resource block number eta PRB of a resource element k comma L in a slot is given by this equation, where k, the number of the index of the resource block divided by resource block subcarriers, number of subcarriers. It will give you the what is the number of physical resource block we are actually referring to. Okay, these things are already discussed, you can go through it. Now, resource allocation type. We now know what is resource allocation. Dynamically allocating the physical resource blocks to particular user is called as resource allocation. There are different types, okay, in the resource allocation, and it specifies the way in which scheduler allocates resource blocks for each transmission. To give the maximum flexibility of resource block allocation, uses a string of bitmap or bit stream, each bit of which represents each resource block. Maximum flexibility would create too much complication of resource allocation process or too much data to allocate the resources. So maximum flexibility is not considered because it would create too much complications in the resource. So with somewhat flexibility, we allocate the resources. Let us see the types now. First one is resource allocation type 0. Here, resource allocation type 0, this method divides the resource blocks into multiples of groups. Say 10 resource blocks in one group. Next 10 will be in another group. Next 10 will be in another group. You can see over here, this is one resource block. This resource block added with another resource block over here, another resource block, likewise. If you have group of resource blocks divided in resource allocation type 0, it divides the resource blocks into multiples of groups. Okay, multiple groups will be there, in that resource blocks will be there. This group is called as resource block group. So there will be 5, 10, 15, likewise different number of resource block will be there in one group, and there will be multiple groups of the same kind. Next point is number of resource block group in each group varies depending on the system bandwidth. Depending on the bandwidth given to the particular system, the number of resource block groups will be varied. And the relation between resource block group size and the system bandwidth is shown in this table. You can see over here, if the downlink resource blocks are lesser than 10, resource block group size is 1. If the downlink resource block groups numbers are 11 to 26, then the resource block group size will be 2. If we have number of resource blocks between 27 to 63, there will be 3 resource block groups. If you have downlink resource blocks 64 to 110, then you have 4 RBG in a group. That is 4 resource block in one group. This is 1 resource block in one group. Likewise it goes. This is for highest bandwidth. 110 number of resource block is for bandwidth of 20 megahertz. Lesser than 10, that is there will be around 6 number of resource blocks in 1.4 megahertz bandwidth channel. Depending on that, number of resource block groups are made over here. In resource allocation type 1, all the RGBs are grouped into a number of RBGs are grouped into a number of RBG subsets, and certain physical resource blocks inside a selected RBG subset are allocated to the user equipment. Okay, this we'll see, we'll directly go to the comparison of resource allocation type 0 and 1, and with that we'll come up with these points. Okay, we'll try to understand these points about resource allocation type 1. See, for P is equal to 4, that means 4 physical resource blocks we are going to compare with resource allocation type 0 and the resource allocation type 1. In one group there will be around 4 physical resource blocks. You can see there are number of physical resource blocks, and they are grouped into the naming conventions such as RBG group 0, RBG group 1, that is radio resource block group 0, group 1, resource block group 2, group 3, like that. But the common thing is, in every resource block group there are 4 resource blocks, because P is given as 4 over here. And in resource allocation type 0, what you can observe is, we can observe there is continuous physical resource blocks allocated for particular user equipments. All these 4 resource blocks in the resource block group 0, and all the 4 physical resource blocks in the resource block group 3 and resource block group 4 are allocated to a single user. That is, continuous resource blocks are allocated, and thereby assuring continuous subcarriers in that are allocated to a particular user equipment. When it comes to resource allocation type 1, you can see physical resource blocks are not only grouped as resource block groups, but these resource block groups are also grouped under resource block group subsets. And since P is equal to 4, there will be 4 subsets, 4 physical resource blocks in one physical block group, and again 4 physical resource block group set subsets named as physical resource block subset 0, physical resource block subset 1, physical resource block subset 2, subset 3. After this format repeats: RBG subset 0, subset 1, subset 2, subset 3. So this method requires, first thing, it requires 3 fields. One is to indicate what is the resource block group, number of the resource block group, whether 0th or 1, 2, 3. Next is, what is the subset number? What is the subset number? Another one is, which physical resource block of the particular physical resource block group and subset is chosen for user equipment. Correct? For that it requires 3 fields, which is overhead. But what it actually gives, it gives us frequency diversity. As you can see over here, in the physical resource block, second physical resource block and third physical resource block of resource block group 0, in the RBG subset 0 is selected for the user equipment. Also in the resource block group 4, resource block group subset 0's first physical resource block is selected. Because of this, you can see there is a large number of frequency diversity can be gained in this type of arrangement. Here there are continuous frequencies are allocated, and because of this frequency diversity is limited over here, and here it is more sophisticated. Because of this, resource allocation type 1 has an overhead, larger overhead compared to the resource allocation 0, but it provides a more flexible, more sufficient frequency diversity. I hope you have understood the resource allocation type 1 now, with respect to 0, how it is different. Now let us move on to the resource allocation type 2. And earlier the resource allocation 0 and 1 were They were defined for downlink control information channel formats of 1, 2, 2A, which are already discussed in the previous lectures. You can go through the table. And this resource allocation type 2, it is defined for the DCI format 1A, 1B, 1C and 1D. Physical resource blocks are not directly allocated. Instead, in this type, virtual resource blocks are allocated and they are then mapped onto the physical resource blocks. And the virtual resource blocks size are same as physical resource blocks. There are two types of virtual resource blocks. Particularly this allocation type 2 is based on this method only. Two types, one is the virtual resource blocks of localized type, another one is virtual resource blocks of the distributed type. Here localized type directly can be mapped to the physical resource blocks. Virtual resource blocks are dynamic in nature or distributed and they cannot be directly mapped onto the physical resource blocks. And for resource allocations of type 2, the resource assignment information indicates the set of contiguously allocated localized VRBs or distributed VRBs. A 1-bit flag indicates whether the localized VRBs or distributed VRBs are assigned to the assigned in the type 2. So this is about different resource allocation types. Hope you understood these different types and the difference between them. Our next topic is supported multiple input, multiple output modes in downlink. In downlink transmission, it supports both single user MIMO and multi-user MIMO. For single user MIMO, one or multiple data streams are transmitted to a single user equipment through space-time processing. But for multiple user MIMO, modulation data streams are transmitted to different user equipments using the same time frequency resource. Here space-time processing is considered for single user. Here time frequency resource is considered through modulation of different data streams. The supported single user MIMO modes are listed over here. Transmit diversity with space frequency block codes can be used with the downlink. Open loop spatial multiplexing supporting 4 data streams at a time can be used. Closed loop spatial multiplexing with closed loop preceding as a special case when channel rank is 1. This method of multiplexing can be used with downlink. And conventional direction of arrival, which is beam, the technique based on beam forming, can be supported with single user MIMO. The supported MIMO mode is restricted by the user equipment capability. All these multiple input, multiple output modes are restricted by the user equipment capability. If your user is sufficiently enhanced one, then only it can utilize. Otherwise, it cannot utilize all the modes or part of it can utilize. And the PDSCH physical channel supports all the MIMO modes, which other physical channels support while the other physical channels support the transmit diversity, except PMCH, which only supports single antenna port transmissions. So this is about the supported MIMO modes in LTE downlink. The last topic what we have is uplink SCA FDMA radio resources, which is similar to downlink downlink OFDMA radio resources. Only change being there we used the modulation and multiple access technique as OFDMA. Here the multiple access technique is SCFDMA, single carrier FDMA. That is the main difference. Apart from that, most of the parameters we studied over there are similar. So I will leave this topic for your self-learning. I hope you will go through the slides and you will learn and come up with queries. Okay. I hope this session was understandable to you, and thanks for watching.